Yeah, so what did you think of the show?
Well, for a quick overall,
Just quick overall.
it was a quite decent, solid show.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. It was a good show. I think it started off with a straight tournament match. You had Moxley versus Sammy. Yeah, I mean the match was solid. I mean the outcome was what you expected. If you thought Sammy was winning, yee. Mox don't lose like that. But yeah, that being said, what I liked was the beginning. I knew it wasn't gonna last, but when Sammy came out by himself, I enjoyed that. I thought that's good. He needs to start doing that more and getting back to how he used to be.
Yeah, 100%. That was my very first notes that I wrote down. He came out alone because in the previous tournament match, they was talking about, Darby came out alone, saying, "Oh yeah, you keep your people behind as well." Next minute, everyone was out there. I was like, "Oh, come on, man."
Mm-hmm.
Like, that match in particular could have been done with no one, but for this match, Moxley versus Sammy,
mm-hmm.
there was the interference, but it was okay. It was subtle. It wasn't,
Subtle.
Yeah, it was a fine interference. Yeah. Pun intended.
Gotcha. Received. Yeah, exactly that. It came. I mean, it's a part of the character now, and it's his wife and stuff. So I get it, and it didn't play towards the finish in his favor as well. So if anything, it was his downfall. So it worked out. They had a solid match. There was some backwards and forwards. There were some good spots and that. So yeah. It was everything it was gonna be. So yeah, it worked out well. Obviously, Mox got the dub, so he's pushing into the championship. So
yeah, I think Moxley was gonna win that regardless.
Yeah.
I don't think Sammy was even gonna.
Nah.
Yeah, he wasn't. But yeah, as you said, yeah, it was a decent match. I don't think I've seen them have a match against each other. Not that I remember, but yeah, it was a decent pairing. I think they could do a few more matches and it will be quite alright.
Yeah,
there was some good spots and some good moves during that match. I like the finish of the reversal finisher into the finisher, as well as that avalanche. I'm talking all American. Avalanche German suplex. That was a decent move. Moxie moves on to the finals as expected.
Yeah, he moves on to the finals. I mean, yeah, he really is holding up the integrity of the company right now. He's like the stone. So like, you know what I mean. So I knew he was gonna move forward and advance. I mean, he might go on to win the whole thing. I mean, that's not my prediction, but if he did, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Any problem with that is you start getting the 3-time, 4-time, 5-time champ stuff start racking up, and it's a bit too soon for that.
That's what I was thinking as well. It's not that I don't want Moxley as a champion because obviously, he's doing good for the company right now. It's just that he has already had it a few times. I'd like to see someone else have it. Actually, even speaking about that match, I think maybe Moxley versus Darby would have been an even better match than Sammy, but it was quite good. It was quite good in the end. And either way, neither of them would have won. So, not that it matters, but I think Darby and Moxley might have meshed together better.
Yeah, they would have meshed. I think they've had a match before as well. It would have gone better, but again, it's the same result at the end of the day. But I do see what you mean. And in terms of the Moxley thing, the 3-time champion, the other issue with that is obviously the first one he fought for the championship. The second 2 times, it's like circumstance. And this guy's got injured. This guy's been suspended. It's like I know he's in a tournament to win it, but every time you're in that position, it's because someone's been injured. Versus Moxley just going for the championship. Obviously in storyline he is, but we know that he's not going to become champion again if he does because they want him to. It's because the other guy got suspended and whatnot. So I'd rather it be because he's on top, he's on fire, and he's in line to do it. Because even if I mean, not to go into later on stuff, but even if things go as planned, even if Mox wins, he needs to drop that to MJF anyway.
100%.
So yeah, I mean, there's no winners today, but it's like Takeshi's Castle. I feel like whoever wins, you got to drop it to MJF. But yeah, solid match. I want to see more of this from Sammy. Sammy we forget sometimes how great of a performer he is because of all the other stuff he seems to be wrapped up in with either factions or I think he's generally disliked because of the way because of the situation with the TNT championship from way back. But this is the Sammy that was building up great matches, great content. This is what he needs to continue to do, in my opinion. So hopefully we get more of that.
Yeah, 100%, which is unfortunate because Sammy is actually good, but yeah, there's so much stuff surrounding him at the moment, and yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's like a weird, I don't know, maybe stigma towards him at the moment. Yeah. People really dislike him, not just because he's a heel, but they actually dislike him. But yeah, as we've seen a few times, he's good in the ring. I suppose he wasn't currently in good position, so maybe it was a good opportunity for him to be in that spot actually, rather than anyone else.
So yeah, the next segment to move on, speaking of the devil, was MJF.
The devil himself.
The devil himself. Oh boy, MJF is money. He is honestly money. This guy is ridiculous. He comes out, he grabs that mic and he's fired up like no one else. Hits it every single time.
He came out hype. Cut his music straight away. And a fat promo.
Fat promo. Again, hits it out the park every time. Every single time. Gets to the point. Gets his piece in. Gets what he needs to say said. And it was great. So, apart from the usual stuff, he comes out and says, puts everyone in their place. He then focused towards Moxley, which is, I mean, it could be very telling, or it could be the opposite. It could be a swerve. He's basing his promos off Moxley, and I know that's because he was interrupted last week, but that would kind of point towards him facing Mox for the championship at some point. I mean, he did mention, that also goes for Jericho and Bryan, so obviously it could be anyone, but yeah, it seems he's very amped against Moxley right now. So we have seen that feud, but like MJF said himself, this is a whole different MJF, whole different guy. And and that goes for Moxley too. To be honest, he switched up. He's a lot more alert and more engaging than he was to begin with. What's your thoughts on? Well, what's your thoughts on the match versus him versus Mox, or do you think it will be a swerve and he'll end up fighting Bryan? Or
I think it depends on how he will actually cash in his chip, because he can either do it, during the match or after the match or something like that, right?
So yeah, I've seen different reports on it. I think people are starting to believe that it's like a Money in the Bank. You can cash it in, and that would make more sense as a chip. So hopefully he can.
Yeah. So if it is that way, actually, regardless of all of that, I think along the lines, either way, he's gonna have to face Moxley. Moxley's one of the top people in the company to be around the championship. So, and them two in a match, I think that would be quite good as well. Yeah. You got Moxley with his more aggressive side, and then you got MJF working the mind games and stuff. So I think them two would be a great pairing right now to work against each other like that. During this promo that MJF was spitting, the crowd was actually cheering him. I think one day MJF is gonna be the biggest face, whether he wants to or not, because the crowd is at one point going to be so fully into MJF that he's not going to be able to make them boo him.
Whether he turns face or not, he will be treated like that eventually, because he's a consistent. And people do like him. They listen to what he says, and they do believe it some way, shape or form. And he's just entertaining.
He's great. He's actually good.
He's actually really good, and you can't help but listen to what he says, whether you like him or not.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's great content. He works on himself. He works on his image. He breathes this. You can tell. So you can't hate that person, unfortunately, for too much. Yeah. You just learn to incorporate him. I think that's what's going to happen over time, and that will do him good. I suppose whoever wins the tournament, he doesn't have to cash in straight away, so he could feud Moxley anyway. And even if Mox didn't win, and then he can go on to cash in on Bryan anyway. So
yeah, that's what I think. Also, I think maybe even if he was going to cash in, I don't think he's going to do it straight away. I think he'll hold on to it and work the mind before he does any cashing in first, because that's just how he does things. So I think either way he'll feud with maybe even both of them.
They have the time. Yeah, they have the time, resources, and with MJF, you want to build it up. You want to get them to go out there 4 weeks and do what he does best. He finishes up talking about Moxley and the championship and himself, and then he goes into how he got the chip, how he attained it, And then he welcomes out his best friend, Stokely Hathaway, and the firm.
Bad man Hathaway.
The firm, bad boy Hathaway.
Yeah, the firm. What do you think of the name?
The firm, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it makes sense what they are. I mean, I would probably try and get something cooler, but it rolls off it, man, and it works with what they're doing. They are a firm, I suppose, but
yeah, it works. It
works for them, and because they are a mixed match group, they work somehow, so it works out. And he got a tune.
The music was good as well. Yeah, one nice bop tune.
He had a bop tune to come down to. He's
bop along to that. It was good.
I love the way he's acting with his group. He's acting like he is like he comes out like he's the real deal. Like he's the main shit. I love it.
Yeah, the one manager to do that. He looks like I mean, he portrays himself as if he's not afraid and he's the main boss type of thing.
Legit.
Rather than a background manager guy.
Exactly. Rather so scared. Oh, don't touch me. You know, he's in the forefront. Like he's coming out to the tune. He's in the front. He's doing this. He's, you know what I mean. This is literally like his faction, and you know what I mean. He sees it as he's like the mob boss. I like it.
Exactly, and he'll grip you up and bang you if you don't like it.
Yeah, he'll put his. So, what do you think about the build of it? They're saying this is the first faction on retainer. So, what he is saying is that they're a faction when there's a group objection, but apart from that, so they go separate.
I think he said only when MJF needs them or something like that.
And it's funny because I had a conversation with you a few weeks ago, and we were just talking about this. I was saying that factions need to make their objections more clear. You shouldn't just have a group of people just sitting there. I think that was the problem with the Inner Circle. You had a lot of people who were just sitting there doing a whole lot of nothing. Like, I mean, they'd help Jericho and stuff, but then they're sitting there. Like, it's like, do you not want championships? Do you not want to win this or win that? They were just a group for no reason. It wasn't clear. And then you got Stokely come out, and he picks apart his group. He points at everyone, and he tells you directly what they're going to be going after. So we already know what the group collection is. Their group thing is to basically have MJF's back. But separately, he wants the I always call them Young Guns. Why do I always call them Young Guns?
Not again. Young Guns again.
I can't remember what their names are now. The Guns. The Gun Club.
I was about to say Arse Boys for a second. The Gun Club.
Works. I think that's why I always try to say Arse Boys and it just gets cancelled.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Young Guns. So the Young Guns are going after the tag team championships. That's what he wants.
Gun Club, man. Gun Club.
The Young Guns. And then...
fine. That's the news now.
Yeah, Young Guns. So they've already got an objective. He wants them to go after the tag team championship. And obviously everyone else has got their own objectives. I think it was Ethan Page, the All Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
And then they want Lee Moriarty to go after the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. So individually, they've got their own goals. So we know what they're all after. We know what they're it doesn't even matter if they make it there or not. We know what you're there to do.
That's your reason why you're there in that group, you know, and you have your motivation and you're ready to go for something at least, rather than, you know, you're just there to be there. I think this is what they need to put across more. You need to be there for a reason and know what you're going for, rather than just you're a wrestler and you're just wrestling. Like, have your purpose. It makes us more in tune. Like, okay, will you or won't you get it? Or, you know, we know what you're trying to do anyway. So it's better than just wrestling to wrestle. I mean, I love wrestling, obviously, but yeah, I want some storyline to it.
Yeah, exactly. Even if that is your objective, like, you know, we're the best wrestlers. We've got the best technique. We've got the best trainer. You know, we are the Blackpool Combat Club. That's fine. Like, and even that said, they've all got the championships. So obviously they have to prove it, and they prove it by all having straps. And even smaller factions like Best Friends. I mean, they don't do anything. They don't win anything. They've got no real objection. They're just kind of just there. The more goals you've got in a faction, I think the more we can actually follow along, which is great.
Yeah, I think Taz even said it on commentary, and it was just perfect. Like, he said that they have direction, motivation, and goals. Like, that's what you need to be putting across.
But yeah, it helps with everything. So I'm calm with that. You see when he was hugging Cass, Big Cass.
Morrissey. You know what's funny as well? I think he was trying to be he was trying to look obviously all tough and that, Like he didn't want to say no words or even react to him, but it was like he was making him react to him, it was just funny. It was a funny little. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I said I love you, man.
Yeah, I think as a collective, as a group, I think it was quite good, man. They all sort of fit together, which is weird because they're obviously a random thrown together group, but they quite suit each other.
Yeah, I think they can all have some character as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's people that aren't doing anything, and obviously Big Cass just joined.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's people that aren't doing anything and that need to be doing something.
Yeah.
Especially Ethan Page, man. Ethan Page has been overlooked big time. He needs to he needed this. Like when I saw him managing up with Stokely, I was thinking, okay, it's something for him at least. So yeah, I'm happy for that. I'm happy for the rest of them as well. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to see where it goes.
Yeah, Ethan Page, he's great. He doesn't get used enough, and that's not even storyline. I think that's just the truth. He's very good, real. Especially on that mic. He's very convincing. He's got a lot of skills there. So
and it's a good title that he's going for as well.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, as a thrown together match, yeah, it was random. It was a surprising good pairing. Them two actually quite worked well together. But yeah, it was just quite random. And what I don't like as well also is an open contract and then it gets announced immediately after who the open contract is to. Instead of allowing it to play out and be like, oh, I wonder who's gonna accept the challenge or whatever. They just did it straight away and revealed, oh, it's my man. And then I was a bit like, oh, okay then. I thought, he's opening up the challenge and someone decent is gonna accept or something. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's decent, but again,
yeah. Not that he's not decent, but you know what I mean.
Fresh or something we want to see, basically.
Yeah, maybe not even that, but like, I don't know, man. Just, I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Like a letdown when you do these type of who could it be things. I think these companies need to realize that you make people's brains work overdrive. So then when it's someone like, oh, all right, Trent came out. It's just like,
yeah, exactly. If it was something like that, I'd be like, oh, great, man, that's dead. as I was with Lethal a little bit, I was like, oh man, him again.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought, well, neither of these guys need to lose right now.
Yeah,
Lethal's got no heat, and Jungle Boy, he's about to go face Luchasaurus, so he needs to be winning really. So it was Darby, and he was talking. I think it was Matt Hardy was talking about Darby, about you think you're the most extreme, this, that, and the other. I take it they're alluding to a match.
Yeah, they got a match on Rampage.
Oh gosh, is he turned heel with Matt Hardy?
I don't know what he's doing, to be honest.
He seems, I don't know. I got this weird feeling in the background that they're gonna bring back the Hardy office thing. I got this weird HFO nightmares, flipping flashbacks coming along.
It seems that way. He was very all over Private Party in previous episodes and stuff, and Dark and all that stuff. But he also I think it was a tweet or something. He said he's looking forward to Jeff Hardy's new persona or something like that.
Jeff.
So yeah, Jeff. You mentioned Jeff. I thought Jeff was done, but
I think it was done.
He said something about Jeff. So there was a video package of Hook and Bronson. What do you think about Bronson stepping into the ring?
I don't know if he's ever been in a wrestling ring, but as an attraction match, they do suit. Obviously, he sings he raps his tune to the ring. So I have no knowledge on his ability in the ring.
Yeah,
I have no.
I think he'll do quite well. And I actually want to see him do decent. They look good together. It's a decent pairing.
That's why I don't mind it compared to Danhausen, for example. They do suit each other. There is a history that there's video footage of it. It's like a full circle thing, and I don't think he would get in there and embarrass Taz and his son. You know what I mean? I don't think as a fan he'd get in and embarrass himself either. So
yeah, no, and just with that video package, it looks like he's working to be good at least.
Yeah, he's got a good look. Surprisingly, I mean, he looks like he could be a madman, to be honest. So
yeah,
I ain't gonna knock it till I try it. I mean, it's just an attraction match, isn't it? So unless he can go, so yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah. In the beginning, I mentioned about obviously they was working on new things for the show, and one of them was obviously backstage segments and video packages. There was a lot of them this episode. So there was another one. This one made me laugh, man.
What, Hobbs?
No, the big boy backstage segment with the professional wrestling's premier pizza maker, Luigi Primo. Oh, that was so funny. He got a straight big boot from Ethan. The way he went down was so funny.
That's what it needs to be as well.
That was once again a random matchup. Keith and Swerve versus Lucha Brothers. Not that it's a bad matchup. They had a bad boy match. That was probably the best match of the night. But very random, and especially for Death Triangle, especially when they just won their trios championship, to then be put in this match, I think it was a bit random. They could have put someone else in that position, I think.
This is the problem with the trios and tag team division. Everyone saw coming when you've got the whole tag team, and then you have a trio division. You've got to split the teams up. They've got no real viable, like, instant plug-in tag teams to face Swerve and Lee, and the same for Death Triangle somewhat, because the next people you can plug in are probably people that are gonna have to win it eventually. They haven't got any like people they can just work with. So a week after winning the trios championships, they're in a match with the tag team champions, losing their first match after winning the championships against the tag team. I don't think they needed to be booked that way. They could have had the trios could have had a match against another trio you got locally, and the tag teams could have done the same thing. Or if you had more tag teams, they could have faced them. But I think putting them two together, Lucha Bros versus Swerve and Keith, neither of them needed to lose right now. And
I definitely think someone else could have been put into that spot instead of the Lucha Bros.
100%. It could have been anyone. It could have been a thrown together. It could have been anyone.
I mean, there's a lot of teams on the roster that aren't getting, to show themselves. So it could have been, not that I want them losing or nothing, but you got Butcher and the Blade. You got Griff and Pillman.
I don't know their team. Last time we saw them was months ago, and they got smoked in about 3 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes it more reason to put them in this position to let them alleviate themselves a bit, because they're not a bad tag team. They're kind of decent. Yeah, that squash was that ruined them, I think.
Yeah, ruined them. They both got talent, but again, this is a champion. Well, not a champion. I know it's not a title match, but you're going against the champion, so it's a showcase match. So who's in line for that type of push? You know what I mean? Again, the next people would be the Acclaim, but they're challenging, so you can't put them out there. So you got to go through the rubble for someone, and they found the current trio champions, the Lucha Bros.
That was a bad decision.
When they go and lose on TV, clean as a whistle, it's just. So now I don't know. To me, it was a negative. It didn't, mainly because it didn't need to happen. They could have put anybody in there.
Yeah,
anybody in there.
The only thing that was a positive from that was it was a good match. Other than that, everything else surrounding it didn't need to happen at this time anyway. They just won the trios championship, and they haven't defended it against no one yet. No. And they're in a match now losing. They don't need to lose.
Yeah, they're in a match against other champions losing. Again, like you said, it was a fantastic match. The match was it was brilliant. I mean, it's look at the two teams in it. I think Penta hit the fattest Canadian destroyer I've ever seen on Keith Lee.
Oh my days, that was a huge Canadian destroyer. Oh my god, that was a massive Canadian destroyer.
Oh, it was crazy. I thought they were going to use this as a ploy to turn Swerve and Keith like full heel. I thought they were going to do some sort of heel tactics or cheating to beat them, but no, it was clean as anything, and they dipped.
Yeah, so, or even some dissension between them, because I think what's their names again?
Acclaimed.
Yeah, I think the Acclaimed is gonna take the championship. I think the Acclaimed deserves the championships at the moment. Actually, they are so over.
Yeah, they are super over. People want to see it.
Super.
And yeah, they deserve that now.
That match at All Out was crazy, man. That was that was a sick match.
No, man, yeah, it was amazing. And again, the crowd always makes these matches better, and the crowd was on fire, honestly.
Yeah. So that goes for the people that go to the shows. Yeah, make sure you make all the noise because it looks much better on TV.
Exactly.
Don't sit there like a dickhead with your dick in your hands, doing nothing.
Paying your ticket to sit there silent, sit home.
Yeah, don't do that at all, man. Don't do that at all. Make all the noise possible.
But yeah, what I want to see moving forward is we go back to the old school AEW where there is a huge amount, a plethora of teams ready, and they're all viable for the championship. I remember one stage I was saying, "Oh, this team's viable, this team's viable, this team's viable." There was about 5 teams that could have taken it, and no one would have argued. And now,
I don't know what happened to all of them. Like, it seems like they all disappeared, or they don't wrestle as much, or they're on dark.
They're on dark, basically. But now, yeah, you've got the Acclaimed who are next to go, and then you've got FTR.
And that's it. No one else.
They're really the only viable teams.
Yeah.
I love Butcher and Blade, but if you put it on them now, it'd be like they got that randomly. They're not built up. There's no heat on them or nothing.
That's unfortunate as well because they're so good too, man.
They're so good, but they've been stuck in that stupid family office nonsense with Andrade and Matt. They've been wasted.
Yeah, whoever was in that family office, they've got a huge stink behind them, man.
Huge. It went on for so long.
And it did no one any good. No one benefited from that. Not even Matt Hardy himself. No one benefited. Not Andrade, no one.
Exactly. And this is what I was saying about the whole faction objective. Like, what was the objective? What were you guys doing? You got no championships. I don't even think they faced for championships whilst in the group. So you're wasting your time. No one got a championship opportunity. No one got a title. No one got anything. No, it wasn't even like, oh, we helped Matt win. Matt was getting banged left, right, and centre. Luchasaurus done him up. I mean, that was afterwards, but you know what I mean. He had he got banged by Hangman. All of them got like smoked by him. That being in that faction did nobody any good. So that's a crap faction. You should have opportunities that you don't get elsewhere when you join a faction, or at least protection. Shit.
Exactly, but it didn't even seem that way either. It was just a faction with no purpose.
And they got bought
barely
out.
winning, and just there basically. They didn't do anything. They didn't have no purpose either. Like, Matt Hardy had money. Okay, that was it.
Exactly.
We're paying them, so okay. It was just nonsense.
Yeah, it was stupid. So that never went anywhere. But yeah, let's not just rag on Matt Hardy again. So yeah, what I would like is them to build up the tag teams and shit. You can have this trios title, build up some trios if that's possible to do both. They're gonna have to now because you got the championships.
Yeah.
So build them up, make some viable teams. That's definitely something that needs to be done. Yeah, on my notes I got the Acclaimed are so over. We just spoke about it. They are red hot, man. People love them.
Yeah, I wrote that down as well, man, because Acclaimed are, they're so sick. I like that they haven't done their rap recently or anytime soon, because it just makes them seem like they're angry. You know what I mean? They came out, cut a promo instead because man's angry. He's not gonna come out and rap.
Yeah, he's
vexed. He wants to beat you up. So I think that's good for them.
He's out there for a purpose, not for games. You know, he coming out to do silly rap. He wants you. He wants some championships. He wants the prize. That's what it's about. So that's very good. I like that. That was good. Booking and his content, what he said was good too. I can't wait for them to win. That's all I'm saying.
That's the only option. Just them win.
Yeah, it is, honestly. And then turn Swerve heel or something. So that's all good.
Yeah, I think even if they don't win, I think Keith and Swerve, they need to be put in good positions to raise up the tag team scene, man, because the tag team scene is falling down, unfortunately. We have the faith in them. It's just you just need to do more tag matches with actual tag teams and build the roster back up again.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. So yeah, so it looks like Cassidy versus Pac is official. We're getting that match. Dynamite.
I mean, I don't mind the match here, but I hated the backstage segment. The one previously with Ethan Page and that random pizza guy was fine, but this one, how you gonna lay out Pac like that? Pac's a bad man. You shouldn't be doing that to Pac. No. Made him look so weak.
Yeah, definitely. I think
that shouldn't have happened to Pac. And for one, that's not even in Orange's character to do that.
No, it's not at all.
Just attack the man backstage. He should have just came up to him and done his usual antics and made Pac angry or something. And then maybe attacked him, but not straight attack him and lay him out like that. Had Pac on the floor all knocked out. I was like, what the hell? And once again, this is big time trios champions and they're all looking...
Not even just that, he's 2-pack, bro. This is 2-pack.
Yeah, exactly that as well.
Double champion. He's champion of all C's, and then he's champion of the trios, and he is smoked on the floor like a little bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
From Colin Cassidy, the guy who don't even try.
Exactly. Pac don't ever look like that, and yeah, that was bad, man. I didn't like that. Pac never needs to look like that.
He doesn't ever have to look like that. And again, that can be. You know, he might let someone off if he's feuding Wardlow and he's chumped man backstage. I wouldn't even allow that. But if that happened, or if he's feuding Brock Lesnar or something, all right, cool. But
it's more sense. Makes more sense that way. Not with Cassidy
or even
coming
like
now.
Hobbs, like he wants to smoke him before the match, so he mac man with a pipe or something. But
exactly.
But you got Orange Cassidy, the guy who's chill. He smoked Pac somehow backstage, clean like that.
Ah, man.
It don't make much sense to me. It don't make much sense.
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, it's against his character for sure, and it's against Orange's character because it's not something he would do, and it's not something that Pac would happen to. So it was just a clash of characters, and it didn't work. And they just done a segment exactly like that.
So I don't know how I felt about this. Not because of the content, but obviously they have history and they need to finish the feud, but I feel like neither of them need to be losing like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. I was thinking they was great together. I think they're better friends than enemies, is what I say. I say they don't need to be facing each other. I think maybe just that one match was enough. I get that. Obviously Starks are going to be mad now because he took the loss, but I don't think they need to be facing each other any more than necessary. I think they're much better together rather than enemies.
Yeah, they are 100%. But if you're moving towards this thing where you're splitting them up, they need to go separate ways. I don't think they need to be feuding each other. Hobbs won. Now let's push him into the future and just push him into push him forward, saying he's got that win and he's gonna go on a hunting spree now. Let him go and take out the factory for not doing his job properly, and
exactly.
And then go feud some face that people like. And Ricky needs to do the same. He needs to go and because people love Ricky.
Oh, Ricky is loved big time.
But yeah, either if he beats Hobbs, then it's like okay, 1-for-1 stalemate. Or if he loses again, now you got 2 losses straight. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think they
as you said, both of them don't need to have a loss again. I think it should just be left where it is, and they go their separate ways. Or if anything, just get Starks to get his win back, but not by a pinfall. Maybe just be able to beat him up or something. And then leave it at that. I don't think they need to have a match, and because neither of them need a loss. I don't think.
Neither of them need it, and they don't really gain anything from doing the match again. So he langed him with the microphone, and that was pretty much that. But yeah, I'm sure they're gonna have another match, probably another 2, probably one more, and then the rubber match was probably. But I would have just cut it and then let them move on.
Yeah,
and just
me too.
And just keep it maybe as distension backstage where they run into each other. It's on site, but you don't need to have the feud.
Yeah. I think that might have been the actual perfect solution. That they just dislike each other now. They don't get along no more. Obviously, not just loads of matches and stuff. I think it's just beef on site all the time.
I don't know if you watched the women's match.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, I watched Jamie Hayter. That's what I watched.
Yeah, I'm a hater big time. The match in general was a bit meh. It wasn't that special, but the ending when Hayter came in, I was so confused for a second.
Same, yeah.
Because she came out with a chair and attacked Tony, so I was like, oh, so she's not going against Britt no more. But then she's shouting at her at the same time. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? I didn't clock it at first either. So I was like, what the hell's going on? But yeah, after obviously I realized when Britt was saying, I'm sorry, I said I'm sorry. And then I saw that Hater was shouting at her. And I was like, oh, okay. So they're going to continue it, but just not right now. But yeah, I think it definitely needs to happen. Hater needs to have her own run. I think she's going to be a champion one day, for sure.
Yeah, you know, all seriousness, it's the same thing here. I think this seems to be a common thing with the women's matches. I feel like there's like an off timing. It's like they don't mesh with each other just yet. Maybe because they're all newish, but there seems to be like a problem with, like, I don't know. It just seems sloppy in the ring sometimes. But yeah, the ending, I had the same thing. She came down with a chair, and again, it was either going to be she was going to bang up Britt or do the double turn thing and just attack someone else. But it was like, it was halfway cooked between both. Obviously, she started attacking Tony, but yeah, like you said, she was shouting at Britt. So they're continuing it, but I think they're going to go the long way around. But I don't know if this is the best way. It's not really going to... You had the chance to blow. You could have just done it now. I'll see how it goes. I think, yeah, Jamie does need to go solo, and she will have a great run, for sure. And then we get to the main event.
The main event.
It's time. For the main event. So yeah, so we got Jericho versus Danielson. This match made me laugh to begin with. Brian was beating the shit out of Jericho.
Oh my days, Jericho's chest was destroyed.
He battered him. He smoked him for like the first 5 minutes. I don't think Jericho got a move in.
He was attacking him heavily. And hard as well.
Yeah, this was a slugfest. If you like the whole chops, hard hitting, stiff stuff, this was the one for you.
Yeah,
this was the one for you. It was a good match, good backwards and forwards. Eventually, there was a lot of one thing I noticed about Danielson matches, they seem to like there's always like injury angles in them. Like they always do this thing like, oh, is he actually hurt? And he sells so well that you don't actually know if he is or not.
Yeah, I was thinking, he did actually land quite.
Yeah, that was a weird
disgustingly.
Spot.
Yeah,
it's one
it
of
looked like he actually twisted up his ankle, but I guess he didn't.
He didn't. It was all part of the thing, which was even better, I guess.
Yeah, well played, man. Well played.
So yeah, they continued the match. Jericho worked the leg. Just some good heel stuff. Some standard old school heel stuff. But yeah, the match was really good. And obviously, yeah, I can't believe Jericho actually tapped in the end. That was very shocking. I thought it was going to be a roll up or he might get a quick free pin or something. But no, he tapped clean. Ring. So he gets his win back from Lionheart.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a good culmination to their feud.
For sure. He gets the bigger win, and he got his son Daniel Garcia backstage smiling at Daddy's win.
He was looking like a perv stroking off his damn championship.
Proper pervert, mate.
watching the match stroking off his championship.
Yeah, that was kind of sus, man. That was good.
It was a decent match. I'm so glad the wizard gimmick is gone as well.
Me too. I think
he's more doing the
out of him with this Lionheart. It reminded him. It reminded him of that nonsense is gone. But yeah, this Jericho is instantly watchable versus Wizard, man. I couldn't handle it, but
he did the Wizard gimmick, man.
Oh, but yeah, this is way better. The match was what you'd expect from them to. Brian got his win back, and more importantly, now it's Mox versus Brian next week at Grand Slam.
It's gonna go off. Oh my days, that match is gonna be a bad boy match.
Part 2. This is part 2 in AEW. So I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, obviously two members of the same stable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, did you see that?
I didn't till just now. CM Punk owns the Bucks.
It was right in between them.
Oh my days! How did that guy manage to get that?
I don't know, man. He's some joke, man. Though.
I don't know how you do that shit, man. Honestly, these are the people that make shit worse.
Yeah, for real.
He doesn't even know the full story. Just trying to get his. Oh well, let's not give him any time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, next week is gonna go hard. I'm not sure what other matches we got for next week scheduled, but this one obviously the main event, unless they go first. But
yeah. Is next week Grand Slam?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm sure there's quite a lot of matches actually.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much Confirmed, but that's gonna go hard. I don't know. Who do you think is winning that match, by the way? What's your prediction?
Moxie versus Brian.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
On the spot.
On the spot.
My bad.
I'll go for Brian.
Yeah, that's my choice. Go on.
Yeah, because Moxley just had it, and he had it again before that. I think yeah, for a little small time run, if it is going to be anyone, because I see MJF is going to get it soon, maybe not straight away, but soon. I think we should give the win to someone who can have it for a short amount of time that is different than Moxley. Moxley don't need a championship to do what he's doing. His purpose is the ace of the company. He can do that without the championship, I say. Someone like Brian, he'll be a good champion as well. And I'm sure he'll be champion again down the line. But yeah, between these two in the match right now, I'd say maybe Brian takes the win.
Yeah, that's my choice as well. My choice is for Dragon to win that. I think it's a feel-good win for the fans. You know what I mean? After what's going on with it, and then you don't want to load Moxley up with all these championship runs that ain't gonna go nowhere. So put it on Brian, get a feel-good win. Obviously, he can go for a little run depending on when you want to let MJF cash in. So you could let MJF feud with Moxley if you wanted to, and then Brian, he's being billed as the best wrestler, this and that. He's their second biggest star. I mean, some would say first, some would say he's bigger than Punk, but he's their second biggest star, well-known face from WWE. So he is a big deal. I mean, he's not positioned necessarily as big as he was, but he's a big deal. He's a known sick wrestler. So yeah, I'd say put it on him. Showcase it. It's his first championship run. The thing is, there's so many people in line for that championship as well. So moving down the line, will Brian even get a chance with it? You know, he's already tried for it twice. I think he faced Omega for it, and then he faced Hangman for it. So he's gone for it before, and obviously he didn't get it then. But to me, this is a nice, easy way to get the championship on Brian. Let him run it. You can build shows around him. He's a great wrestler. He can perform. And then, obviously, you get the MJF feud, which people don't sleep on that match. MJF, I think he's so good on the mic, people forget his in-ring work. He's no slouch when it comes to the in-ring performance. He can go. So I'm actually intrigued to see what would happen in a match between Brian and MJF. That might actually go insane.
So that match is very interesting, and exactly as you said, people forget that MJF is actually so good in the ring as well. Exactly. That match that he had with Darby that time, my days, I was like, rah.
Exactly, and that's against Darby. He doesn't necessarily do an in-ring story. He just goes balls to the wall. Someone like Brian, that's in-ring psychology and breakdown and pure wrestling versus an in-ring psychologist like MJF as well. So that's going to be one fat story in that ring.
That would be a good match, man.
That's great. And then for the championship as well. So I think you got a lot more intrigue and a lot more you can gain from that feud versus Mox and MJF, where you just get they've done this before. Obviously not like this, but they've had the match before, and then it's basically beef over Moxley coming out. So you don't want to just I wouldn't go off that. And then again, if Moxley loses, you just it's another short title reign. And again, you got the championship because this person left, or you got the championship because of this, that, and the other. So, you know, I say give him a rest. Let Moxley go. He's the MVP right now. Let him go on his vacation. Let him feud MJF and go on his little vacation. And let Brian hold the fort up, man, real quick.
Yeah, I say. Moxley can have rivalries without the championship and still mean something. Mm-hmm. And I think MJF can work a program with Moxley before he goes for his championship run.
Easy, yeah, 100%.
So let's let Brian take it, and then Brian can do his thing with the championship for a while until MJF comes through.
Yeah, until he's ready for it, and then they can have a great match for that.
Yeah.
And you're sure to have the BCC versus the Firm, for sure. If they're basically going to follow his collective, then these guys are bound to clash. So you got the intrigue of that as well. So
I didn't even think of that myself. That would be good.
In fact, I think they've already got Lee going after the Pure Championship. I know Garcia ain't in the BCC, but it looks like he's about to join.
I think he'll join.
So there's already pieces of the puzzle there.
Yeah.
In fact, that match might lead to another piece of him joining. So yeah, we'll see. And like you said, he was rubbing up his title all excited when Jericho lost. So
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, this is good. This is what I like to see. There's lots of moving parts again. There's a bit of a what if, and there's some uncertainty of who's gonna win. I mean, in a good way. You know, it's not predictable, is what I'm trying to say. So I think Grand Slam is going to be quite good.
Yeah, I think so. I think I definitely need to come around and watch that with you as well, man, because that's going to be a good one.
That's going to go ham, for sure. For sure. And let me not downplay Mox here. Mox would be a good chance. If it does turn out, Mox does turn out to win, then we're in for a treat as well. So
yeah, when he was interim, he was doing his thing. He was doing good. Like, he's not a bad champion. He's not a bad wrestler. He's good on the mic as well.
I prefer that.
I'm not shitting on him at all.
I preferred his intensity in the interim run than his main one.
Yeah, and that's what's so good about Moxley right now. He seems so angry and so he's like set straight on some goal that he has in mind, and he's just doing his best work currently.
Yeah, for sure. Whatever he's doing, it's coming across. You can tell that he got his love back for it. Obviously, before he was fighting demons before, so. But his new style and new in-ring work, it's very enjoyable.
Yeah, you can feel the passion. Yeah. That's what I like, man. That's what I like.
So yeah, but yeah, it's all gonna come into place next week. So that's gonna be the fun show. We'll definitely have to watch that one.
Definitely.
And then obviously drop the next review. But that is pretty much how the show went off the air. I didn't see if they posted any after Dynamite extra bits, but I didn't see it.
No, I don't think so.
But the show, is set up for next week, so that's gonna be the one to watch.
Yeah. So overall, it was a good show. It was quite good, and I like that they're testing out new things and doing other stuff rather than their usual placement for stuff. They did a bit, new stuff with the backstage stuff, and then you had a few promos as well. It was alright. I liked it.
Yeah, definitely a well put together show. Again, there's a few things I wasn't a huge fan of. The hater thing was kind of weird. Pac getting left in a pile of poo was kind of weird. Yeah. And then obviously I didn't like the trios and tag team thing. I didn't like how they were booked. I think it was unnecessary. But everything else,
I think so too.
Everything else fit into its place. All was excellent. Like the MJF, that was excellent. And some stuff. So yeah, I mean, overall, it was a good show. It was good. I can't call it bad. It was good. And again, it was more of a puzzle piece show. Putting things together for grand.
That's what I was gonna say. And also the main thing is to obviously build back up the show from all the madness that has been happening.
For sure.